Hey guys, it is Andre. In this video, I want to talk about, the movies, that's based off of real life beings and real life things, You know how when people watch TV, right? People think the movies that they show about mythical creatures or anything they show on TV, they think it's a lot of things are just made up, right? But they don't realize that all that stuff is based off real life. The governments of the world system know the stuff is real, the fantasy and all that. But they just play it on TV for people to see, as a joke, because they know people will think it's made up. Because if it was made up, right, then why don't shows copyright from each other saying, hey, I made up fairies? Why don't they copyright each other saying, I made up fairies, not you? Because fairies are real beings, see? So, yeah, spirits, ghosts, elementals, gnomes, mermaids, gods, goddesses, angels, jinns, all species of spirits, all mythical things we hear about in legend, folklore of all cultures, all that stuff are real. Yeah, they're real. Literally, they're real. What we see on TV, a lot of people think it's made up, but that stuff is real. The world system don't want people to know it's real. They want us to continue thinking it's fantasy. Okay, it benefits a lot of these beings for us not to know they exist. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of evil beings work with the governments of the world, the rulers of this world, current societies, to keep the masses brainwashed. So, of course, not all of them are evil, So I'm gonna explain, I'm gonna explain a few of them in real life based off of the movies, Sometimes the movies or the shows or anime will exaggerate certain beings, while certain beings are, like for example, in real life, the fastest speed travel is the speed of light. But in Dragon Ball Z, right, they exaggerate character speed. Like Goku, like for example, moving faster than the speed of light. That makes no sense because in real life, the fastest speed is light speed. If you go be it faster than that, you won't exist. Exactly. But like I said, that's an example to how speed movement is exaggerated. I'm using an example. So there's also species that are exaggerated. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna mention popular icons. Okay. So let me see. In real life, ghosts as we know it, despite what they show in movies, ghosts are different species. They're not poltergeists and all kinds of. They were never human. They're just a different species. Now, in real life, let me see here. I'll admit, in real life, there are spirits that are just like how they look completely alien to us. There are spirits who are humanoid, who look like humans, yeah, or even dead humans. You know what I'm saying? But they're just a different type of demon. Because just like how there are demons who are completely alien to us, there are demons who look like humans. Just like how heavenly beings have angels that look like humans, while there are angels that are completely not human. A humanoid, right? So in real life, there are. So what anime, and the movies got right is that there are humanoid-looking demons, and there some will even be people with horns out their head when it comes to the demon types, Yeah, they would be like, yeah, they look like a human, but they're not a human. They were born that way. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. Oh yeah, the horror movie, right? In Japan, how they have folklore, right? Now, the horror movie The Grudge, like wait, how you say it? And you know how yeah, Kyoko Seki, that's right. I'm gonna talk about that fantasy horror movie. You know how The Grudge, right? Like the now Kyoko Seki is a type of Onryo, which is a vengeful spirit. In real life, they exist, but they were never human, though. They're just a type of demon. So what they got right was, well, you know how the Grudge is all white, and her hair covers her face, and she moves all scary like, and then she kills in all kinds of ways and pulls people into non-existent. She pulls them into portal. You know what I'm saying? Mirrors. And now I'm gonna let you know this in real life. Yes, Keigo Seki exists. Ghosts like her exist. They're a type of Yuri, a demon, but they really do look like a woman with long black hair, fully white, and they are scary like how they are in the movie. But she was never the soul of a dead woman, though. In real life, she's just a humanoid-looking demon, and she moves like this for real, and yeah, and she kills people. So those demons exist. Cause you gotta understand, in real life, there's many species of demons. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of stuff they show on TV are based off real demons. Did you know that? Yeah, but some things they'll exaggerate. Like, for example, Kyogo was never a human woman. You know what I'm saying? She was always a grudge spirit. And there's other grudge spirits like her who also a woman with long black hair. You know, they're all called Onryos. They all just look like human women that are like all scary like, yeah. So they were never human. They're just one of the demon species, you know. So they're called Onryos, and yeah, they're real. And what else? Let's see, what else to mention? Oh yeah, fairies are real, right? But in the real life, they're spiritual beings. They're not physical that you can see. They're more ghostly in nature. And they hang out where there's nature, greenery, plants, trees. But if you were to walk there, you won't be able to see them because they're spiritual beings. Gnomes are spiritual beings. They're earth spirits. You know, they're always, you know, with the earth, and they're fixated on earth wealth and, you know, all kinds of stuff. They're like, and then there's the sylphs that hang out in the sky. They're not angels. They can appear similar to angels, but they're just beings that are made out of wind. They fly in the air and just hang up there. Yeah. Remember, angels and heavenly beings are made out of light, and they live in heaven. So, But yeah, people will easily confuse sylphs with angels, you know. But they're just a different, species. And they're also spiritual, but not kinda as well, because they're more windy, wind type. Yeah. What else? Mermaids are real. They're physical like us. They're always in the ocean. In real life, I know, like in Disney, the Little Mermaid, right? But in real life, there's no male mermaid. All mermaids in real life were actually cursed earth women that were cursed as half fish, half human, because they slept with fallen angels, and that's where they originate from. So they're literally just cursed women. They got turned into sirens, mermaids, you know. So that's their fate. So yeah. So just know mermaids in the sea in real life, they used to be human women. But they probably lost their humanity by now, you know what I'm saying? As long as they've been alive, yeah, they probably lost their humanity. They're probably like now probably that's why they're like this. They can't speak, or they're like and then they catch a fish in the sea and eat them up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like very malicious, yeah. Because like I said, they lost their humanity. Yep, those are the same women that actually slept with fallen beings, you know, from heaven. So they got cursed along with the fallen beings. So, you know. Now, what else? Because I'm trying to explain the difference between what's exaggerated in films and what's real. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. Demons are only as powerful as the gift fallen angels give them. Because the powers that different level of demons have, it's just upgrades given to them by fallen angels. It's not their own. That's right. A lot of demons today are evolved ordinary demons that wander the earth. But they were just blessed by fallen angels, you know what I'm saying, to gain more powers and metamorphosis. So that's where all the different type of demons came from. They're just upgrades of fallen angels, you know. They're upgrades given to them by fallen angels, basically. So, you know, more details about demons, look at one of my past videos. I talk about the demon realm and, you know, how they came into being and their origin. So just look up my past videos where I talk about it, you know. What else? What else? There's so many species in existence, both physical and spiritual dimensions, so forgive me if I can't think of them all at once, you know what I'm saying? But I know y'all have the idea, so even if I stop here, y'all have the idea, so y'all get it, yeah. Yeah. Before I go, let's see, is there any other thing I want to talk about? Yeah. There's so many things to mention, so... Oh yeah, in real life, Udine exists. They're water spirits that live in the water. Just like how there are fish and all kinds of mythical creatures that live in there, there's also spiritual creatures that live in the water too. That are made up of water elemental, you know. So Udines they look similar to mermaids, but they're not mermaids though. Yeah. They're also a humanoid, a female-looking being that just live in the water. They're one of the many children of water and wisdom. So, So yeah, they're water spirits, and yeah, and they look like females, human-like females, yeah. But then they have a different look to them, though. But they look more human than mermaids do in real life, yeah. Let me see here. Oh yeah. Then there's gens. They're made out of smokeless fire. Yep, they're pretty much what genies in shows are based off of. You know what I'm saying? But not all of them are trapped in genie bottles. You know, they live on Earth with us. They have their own societies. You know what I'm saying? And not just them, all kinds of spirits have their own societies, and some will have no houses, but they'll just live among the trees in the forest, and all kinds of things. But anyway, gens are pretty much have their own type of yeah, they have their own species. Majority of them are humanoid. That's the thing, but then they'll have different looks to them too. They're made out of smokeless fire, and they live pretty much almost wherever we live. They're just. Yeah, they just mind their own business on average and live their own life. And what else? There's demigods and demigoddesses, where they're almost as powerful as gods and goddesses, but not quite. They can travel between different realms and just live there, and you know what I'm saying. It's there's gods and goddesses, full gods and goddesses, but they literally stay up in the heavens. That's the thing. They don't really come to Earth, really, Then there's angels, who are not gods or goddesses. They're just one of the many species up there. And there's many types of angels, and angels with higher rankings that are closer to gods and goddesses, So, yeah. And then there's us humans, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, that live on Earth as well. Let's see here. There's a lot of things exaggerated, but I think that's it for now. Too much to mention. Because there's so many species out there. I'm saying so much to mention. That's all I can say. Oh yeah, unicorns are real, right? What they show on TV. But those horses live in heaven. They're one of the animals that are only found in heaven. But of course, no human can just walk up into heaven. Because heaven is the realm of the gods. So there's no way a human can go up to heaven. It's not made for humans. So you know how it is. Yeah, in real life, heaven is not the afterlife. It's just the upper world. The world beyond the firmament. And basically, it's just a world of the beings that live up there. It has nothing. While the earth is our world, it's human world, yeah. Is one of it's our world, the animals' world, and the spirits that live among us world. And the spirits that live here are not heavenly beings; they just live here with us. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, but unicorns are one of the animal species that can be found in heaven, but they just stay up in heaven on a regular basis. So there are some species that live in heaven alongside the mythical ones, right? They're mythical species, and then they have animals, the same animals that we got on Earth, But then they have more species of animals that we don't have on Earth. So that's right. So you know how it is. Like, for example, when you see a cat, right? Think about a heavenly cat. It would look just like an ordinary cat, but it'll just be a cat that lives in heaven. That's the difference. Yeah. So, yeah. So what else? There's too much to mention. I quit. There's too much to mention. Sorry, guys. But anyway, y'all got the idea, so that's enough of this video. If you have any questions, leave in the comments so I can answer. Okay, y'all make it's more easier when y'all question me. Then I can answer your questions in a comment. And if you want me to make a video about what you asked me, or if you want to challenge me, want me to talk about it in my video, I will. All right. Remember, just let me know you want me to make a video about something, and I will. All right. Peace.